to have you on the line. How are you?
Yeah, good morning, Sena. It's been a while. I'm doing well by God's grace, and I hope you are doing well too.
I'm also fine. It's wonderful to hear your voice this morning. Yesterday we had an extensive discussion with, I think, Abdul Razak, who is the secretary, constituency secretary of the NDC, of your party.
That is true.
Yes. And he was telling us what happened yesterday. First of all, give us an account of exactly what happened from the perspective of the man who they were trying to arrest.
I think that it's difficult to really tell exactly what the police wanted yesterday because this is a demonstration that was planned by the people. As a member of parliament who engaged them in the various community engagements, decided to put their grievances in a formal letter, which was a communique that we gave to all the major stakeholders. And then they gave them 14 days to respond and get contractors back on site. Unfortunately, after the 14 days, that did not happen. And so I had to give a formal notice to the police for the demonstration. And the notice was clear, that it's a notice of public protest and demonstration. It was not just a demonstration, it's a protest and demonstration. So, and this notice went somewhere October 11. And then the police themselves called me for a meeting, and which I honored on the 12th of October, where we had a conversation about the fact that last week was going to be busy for them because of President's regional tour as well as the law students demonstration. So they would prefer that we would reschedule the demonstration. In fact, the original idea was to reschedule to today, which is Tuesday. However, they themselves wrote back to me and said they would rather want us to do the demonstration on Monday, the 25th of October. So my office wrote back to the police to accept the 25th October. So yesterday, from the early hours, I had called that because this is both a demonstration and a protest, some of the young people from each of the communities like Kweyman, Adotema, Otinibi, Damfa, almost at every junction they were protesting, and some were protesting by blocking the roads and burning ties and all that. So when I got there, all I did was, together with the police, we would speak to the youth and all that. Sometimes we met a few resistance, but it wasn't a time that police was really interested in arresting anybody. So all we needed to do was to talk to the youth and ward them off the road. And then they obliged. And then we were able to move from Imensa all the way to the Otinibi, where we gathered, and I did my opening statement and then led the group of demonstrators. We walked through the streets whilst playing songs and having placards and just drawing people's attention. And we ended the demonstration at Imensa, where I gave the final speech. So it was during the final speech that I had information that I was told that the regional commander would want to see me after the demonstration. And I said, as a leader in parliament, all ranking members and deputy ranking members are supposed to meet yesterday so that we prepare for today, which is parliamentary, the resumption of sitting. So I intimated to the police I would not be able to do that. If it is just about a review of the work, I don't mind. We can do that today or tomorrow after parliament or something. I could just come over. But they were insisting. So I asked them, why are you insisting? Am I being placed under arrest or something? So that you let me know. If it's arrest, just tell me that you want to arrest me and tell me the reasons for the arrest. Then I would oblige or not oblige. He said, oh, no. It's not an arrest, but they just want me there. But whilst we were talking, the youth chiefs who were people were all over the place, just came and told me that they heard them around the scene saying that they were going to arrest me. I said, no problem. So when I finished speaking, the youth then surrounded me and were just taking me so I can go and sit in my car and leave. And that was when they then made attempt to physically arrest me. And that led to scuffle all over the place with the youth resisting until I got into the car and sped off the area.
So I want to get a few things clear. One, you said the Monday date was agreed with the police. They actually proposed it.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Because that wasn't our date.
Secondly, did I hear you say the police were part of the demonstration from the beginning?
Of course they were. Right from the word go, they were. In fact, they were with us from the beginning. In fact, when I first got there, the police were already there. And when I was moving from Mensa all the way to Otinibi, the police were moving with me. Because at the time, the police, I had the commander call and said that, some of the youths are protesting in the middle of the road and have blocked the road and some were burning ties. And we said, that was what we agreed on. So we went and then spoke to the youth and then got, ward them off. And anytime we spoke to them, obviously it's a crowded youth. Some you see some trying to misbehave, but eventually they agreed and we had a space and passed and gathered at Otinibi and began the protest from Otinibi.
So the main concern of the police was the blocking of road, burning of tires, which you helped the police to de-escalate.
Of course, and you should expect those things in every protest, because it's a protest and it's a demonstration. The letter is very clear. It's not just demonstration; it's protest and demonstration. And protest, people use all kinds of means to protest. You can't preempt every single thing people will be doing when they are protesting. But what is important is that you prepare to crowd control and do things that will not, degenerate into anything. And yesterday, despite everything that was being complained of, we had a very peaceful day. Nobody complained that my car was destroyed, except my own car that the police destroyed when I was about leaving the place. But nobody's car was burned, no property was lost, nothing. So it was just a way of the people showing their anger. And at the end of the day, we de-escalated those things and then we were able to have our demonstration, which I consider as extremely peaceful, given the anger in the heart of the people.
So you, after all those things, you started the demonstration, marched to the end, and then addressed the crowd, because I can see a video of you actually addressing the crowd.
Yes, and that was the final part. And let me put it on record that the notice we gave police was supposed to, the demonstration was supposed to start from 5:30 a.m. and it was supposed to end at 11 a.m. But by 9:45, where the demonstration was over, we was just about 10 o'clock. So, we were going to use like from 8:45 to 11, and was going to cause some inconveniences for passers-by and everything, because of even the way the protesters were even agitating even the more. We have to try and close early so that at least we can, others who have other businesses to do can then have space to do their work. So, to the best of my knowledge, this was one of the most peaceful demonstrations you can ever have in a protest.
And then in your story, you said it is at the end of this demonstration that the protest that the police stand up and say the regional commander would like to see you.
Exactly.
They gave no reasons for why the regional commander wanted to see you.
No, there was no reason.
Up till now, you do not know.
No, I don't know. And if I was a reason why I asked them that, why were you arresting me? In fact, so when I got to know of that, even in my public statement, I told them point blank that I'm here doing my parliamentary duties. After here, I'm going back to Parliament to continue. I have declined their invitation, and if it is an arrest that they want me to arrest me to respond to any criminal charge, they know what to do. They need to write to the speaker so that I can come and respond.
We also understand that there have been okay, so you said something about your car being damaged by the police. Exactly what happened?
Well, when the youth forced and took me over and shielded me to my car, the police then surrounded the car and said they were not going to allow me to move, and were banging the car. Very, very unprofessional behavior. Banging the car that they won't allow me to move. So eventually, I have to move out of the place with force.
The police were banging your car?
Oh, yeah, they were. We have multiple videos of them banging the car and surrounding the car, not allowing me to move. And the youth behind the car, even when the car was not on drive, the youth were then pushing the car with force from behind against the police standing in front of the car.
So clearly, after everything you saw, I'm guessing then you because the youth, what the youth said they heard, because the youth said they heard the police saying they were planning to arrest you. Does that sound plausible to you now?
Oh, absolutely. And for me, that was the height of irresponsibility on the part of the Ghana Police Service. And I expected them to have known better. That if you know your law very well and you are professional in your duty, you cannot arrest a member of parliament in the manner in which they wanted to arrest me. In the first place, Article 117 of the Constitution on immunities makes it very clear that you cannot, serve a member of parliament who is on a line of duty with any even criminal summons or execute any criminal summons on him or in respect of him. And when you go to Order 28 of our standing orders, what they did amounted to contempt of parliament. And this morning, when parliament begins, I'm citing them for contempt of parliament.
Then we're also hearing stories subsequently that you were last night, maybe you started in the afternoon, working assiduously to get some of your youths out of jail that they had been arrested. Is that accurate? How many of them are involved?
That is very accurate. I mean, initially they arrested 10 of them. I know there was an initial 7, but subsequently they were released because there was no really basis for the arrest. But when I sped off, I heard that they went and arrested the youth chief who gave me the tip-off that they were trying to arrest me and all those things. And together with 2 others, and they were sent to the regional headquarters where I arranged for a group of lawyers to go, and I understand that they were charged with joining a protest without notice to the police. And I'm like, how can you see that? How can you even charge people for taking part in a protest without notice to police? Clearly, there's no basis for that charge. And obviously, my team of lawyers went and showed them copies of all the correspondence we had with them. And so they released them immediately on bail yesterday. So all of them are back home and are safe.
I thought you had gone to the regional police headquarters yourselves since they were looking for you.
No. I wasn't there yesterday. No, I think that they need to do the needful. I don't have to pretend to be an ordinary citizen without any protection or immunity. I do the things I do in my capacity as a member of parliament, a sitting member of parliament, working for the state. I had no business being in Danfa yesterday, but I was there because I'm a sitting member of parliament. And this demonstration, every correspondence I've done with police, I did it in my capacity as a sitting member of parliament. So if they really want an invitation in respect of responding to any question which has a basis for any criminal concern, then they know what to do. They might write to the Speaker of Parliament.
I'll come back to what your plan is, but you are saying that the youth that were arrested because they were part of the demonstration.
That is what I was told. In fact, that was what the lawyers briefed me on, that the charge, they actually charged them because they were cautioned and charged, and the charge was that they took part in the demonstration without notice to the police.
A demonstration without notice. Is that a criminal offense?
They said they took part in a demonstration. It's an unlawful assembly without notice to the police. Yeah.
Unlawful assembly without notice to the police.
Yes. So in other words, they are trying to say that you breach at Section 1 of the Public Order Act, i.e., the protest and demonstration was without notice to the police. So anybody who takes part in it will be guilty of that offense. But that clearly has no basis.
And because of what you're telling me, it means that it has no basis in fact, if your narration is right.
Absolutely. And we have all the letters. It's police that even wrote to us. We have correspondence with the police, and so it's not like something being made of. And it wasn't no meaning. When I went to the regional headquarters, I met the 2IC, the deputy, the deputy commander of the region, and together with the regional crime and regional operations. When we had that conversation, And before they wrote to me to give me a date. So they can't pretend that there was no date. And I can understand this thing. Some of times they are just power play. When the pressure is high and people are bashing you, why are you allowing demonstrators to be demonstrating in the manner they are demonstrating? Then you also want to flex your power. But I am not intimidated by these matters. I have a duty towards my people, and that is what I'm doing, and I will continue to do that until government gives us our own share of development.
Okay, so my producers are showing a video, and in the video I see some armored cars. In fact, these are reinforced, seriously reinforced cars, the ones that belong to the Farm Police unit. But as at the time you were leaving the scene, were these cars and this police kind of officers stationed there?
Oh yeah. They've been there since. I mean, from the morning, they've all been around, and they were there before we even ended the demonstration. And men who came out to attempt to arrest me, some of them were from those cars.
Oh, okay. So your demonstration must receive some special attention.
Well, you cannot take the power of the people for granted.
I was going to okay. So I think two questions on this, and then I will ask you the last question about the issue of the rules in question and why people were so angry about it. But before I go there, you have spent a significant part of your life as a lawyer in fighting for rights, human rights. What you saw yesterday, what was I'm wondering what you're thinking, what your thoughts are currently, especially on the fact that we've always said that the right to protest is a right that's guaranteed under the Constitution.
Yeah, so I honestly, I think the end was an climax from the law enforcement officers, because from the word go, they were with us, and it was okay. You know, and I see that anticlimax as pressure from powers that be who were beginning to feel the pain or the heat of the demonstration. I feel that it was a reaction towards an impactful protest which got some attention from the powers that be. And for me, I think we just have to strike the balance. We will protest, but remember that once you are protesting, there will always be this kind of limitation from people who are affected by your protest, you know. So what I would say is that we should not allow those limitations to be a bar for us to continue to protest until we get the public goods that we rightfully deserve.
And your move is that you want to cite the police for contempt of parliament.
I will do that this morning.
And when you say you are citing the police, are you talking about the IGP himself? Who are you citing?
I'm citing the officers that attempted to arrest me. That is the regional operational commander and the divisional commander of Adenta division. I'm citing the two of them, not only for contempt of parliament, I'm dragging them before PIPs, and I'm making sure that I will demand accountability from them, because just as they want us to respect their uniform, they must learn to respect the office of a member of parliament.
Do you have a police guard?
I do.
Was he there?
He was there.
I'm wondering how he acted in the midst of all this.
Well, he did his job. Yes.
Well, like I said, let me end by asking you why people were, because you said even you had to de-escalate the youth who were expressing their anger by burning tires and also blocking roads. So which means that they were angry about the situation.
Absolutely.
Why are people so angry? What are the state of these roads you are talking about?
Honestly speaking, the road we are talking about is a 10.5 kilometers road.
10.5 kilometers?
Yes, and it's stretching from Imensa all the way to Amrehia. And this route was awarded on contract from July 2020, and it was supposed to end in June 2021. And this road, the contract sum is 11 million Ghana cedis. That is 110 billion old Ghana cedis. This is what has been awarded to a private individual on contract, and this person has failed to perform. I have done everything I can to get all the powers that be to get the consents. It's gone zero. In fact, I've even spoken to the contractor who has promised upon promise upon promise and always fails. And it gives you the cause to really think that he does not have the capacity to really do this road. And the road is so deplorable that now, as I speak to you, if there are pregnant women flying that route, they stand in their cars because they cannot sit. You can ask the auto drivers. There are many who have suffered serious miscarriages on that road. When you call for, let's say, fire service to go into that community today to quench a major fire, I can assure you that before the fire service gets there, the whole community would have been raised down. If there is a major medical condition that requires an emergency for an ambulance to take someone for an emergency from Danfa to, let's say, even Madina, before you move from Danfa to Imensa, the person would have passed away. If there's a major robbery and you want the police to get into that community to foil the robbery, I'm telling you, before the police will get there, the robbery would have been over. So it's a very serious situation. The road is completely deplorable. But guess what? Everyone living in that community is a taxpayer. When they buy milk, they pay value-added tax. When they buy Milo, they pay value-added tax. Those who ply that road, when they buy fuel, they pay all kinds of taxes, including contributing to the road fund. When they get to the toll booth, they pay tolls. They contribute to tax. When the year comes to an end, they pay property rate. They contribute to tax. So these are people who are taxpayers. And they don't need to be begging government for roads. So if government has given the road on contract, government should mobilize a contractor for the contractor to come to site and do the road. If the government fails, the people will be there. Or they'll be saying, oh, our MP is not minding us, our MP is not constructing the road. But no member of parliament has the capacity to pick 11 million Ghana cedis to do road. So if government has given that on contract, the government must ensure that the contract is performed.
So that's all you're demanding? That Absolutely. If the road has been given away on contract, let's see work.
Let the contract be performed. Let it work. In fact, today, back in Parliament, another urgent question I filed is for the road minister to come and tell us in the House the criteria they use in selecting contractors like this contractor. And then after that, they will tell us what they do with those contractors when they fail on their work. Because I think this has become like maybe a giveaway project to some party fanatics or something, and they don't really care whether the community gets to benefit or not.
Are you getting any responses after what happened yesterday in terms of some concrete actions on the ground?
Well, the last response I heard, which is, the same tale we've been hearing over and over and over again, is that in 2 weeks, work is going to start unabated. So no problem. We are here. We are waiting. 2 weeks will come soon. But once we wait for those 2 weeks, I am doing my urgent questions to the minister, so the minister will come and give us what must happen to contractors like this. Because for me, it's complete abuse of the rights of these citizens. And trust me, I will use everything possible, including legal actions, against the ministry if we don't see actions.
Lawyer, it's wonderful speaking to you, and nice to hear that you're doing. You go to any length, because I am guessing that if you have to lead a protest again on this matter, you will still do it.
Oh, I will do it over and over and over again. And I've said it. This is just one electoral area. So don't take Madina for granted. This is one electoral area. If the entire Madina come out.
This is an electoral area, one.
This is an electoral area. We have 15 electoral areas in Madina. If we burst out, the state cannot contain us. So they shouldn't take us for granted. They shouldn't take the power of the people for granted.
Thank you. Thank you for speaking to us.
The pleasure is mine.